Alright, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week we're talking about kids' bikes and what kid bike might be the best one for your kids. But before we get into today's video, if you're new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell icon right next to that. That way you get notified every time I upload. That way you don't miss any of this awesome cycling content we got on this channel. So like I said, today we're talking about kids' bikes. So kids grow through bikes like nothing else. You start them off at a really young age and they're on a balance bike and they go up to a 12-inch pedal bike and then a 16-inch pedal bike and then a 20-inch pedal bike. And they just go through all these different sizes. And there are so many different wheel sizes out there for kids' bikes that it's hard to know what to go for. And there's so many bikes out there, from your bargain bin stuff you find at your local Walmart to your more expensive stuff you find at a bike shop. Which one should you even go for? There are so many choices out there, and hopefully in today's video we're going to help you guys determine what you should get your kid. So first off, we'll talk about sizes of wheels on kids' bikes. So with kids' wheel sizes, the main sizes you're going to find are going to be a 12-inch, 14-inch, 16-inch, 18-inch, and a 20-inch. Those are going to be your most common sizes you'll find. Now, of course, there's some that are outside, they're like a 10-inch down here, but most common you're going to find are going to be those 5. Now, my recommendation is stick with one of those. So if your kid learns to ride on a 12-inch bike, awesome. Teach them on a 12-inch bike, then jump them up to a 16-inch bike, and then up to a 20-inch wheel after that. If your kid learns a little later, and they learn on like a 14-inch, it fits them a little better, get them on the 14-inch, then jump to the 18, then jump to the 20. Just kind of skip between these two here, unless your kid's super into it, but even my daughter who's riding bikes didn't need all of those. So, skip between them, make that difference. You're not going to be buying bikes all the time and your kid can just grow and ultimately get to that 20-inch a little bit faster and a little bit easier. Now when they're just starting off riding, they're going to be riding something along the lines of this. Now this is a little 12-inch Hot Wheels bike, came from Walmart, pretty basic, pretty cheap, pretty inexpensive. So when your kid is first learning how to ride a bike like this is a great option, and that's because your kid's gonna grow. Your kid is ultimately gonna grow out of this bike pretty quickly and move on to the next size bike. So buying the least expensive option you can, it's going to really get them out on a bike. Now, of course, you're not going to get the lightest bike out there, the most efficient bike out there, but they're kids, and ultimately kids are going to beat the bike and put it to its limits. So buying one of these less expensive bikes on the cheaper side of things, generally you get pretty robust components on here that are made to take abuse. In this case, this is a full steel bike. Steel frame, steel forks, steel bars, steel cranks, all that steel. You got big old tires on here, ready to take on whatever your kid throws to them. So getting something in the 12, 14, 16, or even 18-inch size wheels, and kind of the cheapest option you can, is what I would recommend, because they're going to be going through those bikes so fast. And also those kids are not going to know the difference between a cheap bike like this and a little bit nicer bike. And really these bikes, you're just gonna flip them and sell them to someone else or give them to a friend and when you're done. So having a pretty affordable bike to start off with is going to be the really nice option to go with. So of course, after a while, they're going to grow out of those 12, 14, 16, 18-inch bikes. They're going to grow out of those, and you're going to get something like this. And this bike here is a specialized Hot Rock 20-inch wheel bike here. Now, a 20-inch wheel is going to be the most common size you'll see for kids' bikes. 20-inch wheels probably stay for a long time as a 20-inch bike. Because after a 20-inch wheel, they move on to a 24-inch wheel and then a 26-inch wheel, and that's kind of where they sit for essentially the rest of their life. Other than moving around to different sizes, mountain bike or road bike, 26 inch is pretty much where they're going to sit for the rest of their life. So 20 inch, they're going to be on this bike for quite a long time. So spending a little bit more money and getting a nicer 20 inch wheel bike is going to make a difference for your kid. It's going to make a difference in quality of components, number one. You're actually going to get better components on here than you would find at like your big box store or Walmart. You're going to find better components on here that are going to help last your kid the life of their bike and get them out riding a lot more. So obviously, what are some differences you'll find? So number one, on this bike here, it's going to be an aluminum frame. So this bike is quite a bit lighter than you would find a steel frame counterpart. So in this case, this bike's about 24 pounds. That little 12-inch bike was about 16. So you only gained 8 pounds, going up essentially 8 wheel sizes in a much bigger frame here. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not very much weight you're gaining. Versus if you were to get a full entire steel bike from a big box store, you're looking at a heavy bike, probably around 30 something pounds, which is going to be a lot for your kid to push around. So having a lighter bike for your kid to ride around could make a difference for them. It just makes biking a lot more fun and a lot more enjoyable for them. So other components you'll notice going for a little bit nicer bike and a little bit more expensive bike, you'll notice you'll get better wheels, better tires, better cranks down here. You'll also generally get a threadless headset versus a threaded headset, so a little bit stronger, a little bit nicer here as well. You also get separate bars on here as well, guaranteed, so you can actually adjust the angle of the bars. And like I said, you're also gonna get nicer components and nicer quality. In this case, this one has both a coaster brake on the rear, which is very common in kids' bikes, but it also has a rear handbrake on here, as you can see right here, which allows them to learn handbrakes, which is gonna be important going on to their next step in bikes, which essentially is gonna be more of a mountain bike style bike, and they're gonna lose the coaster brake and pretty much have handbrakes from there. So it gives them something to learn on without having to fully commit to a handbrake right off the bat. Now, of course, with a more expensive bike, you're gonna run into a lot of different options. Of course, you can get a simple bike like this one. You can get a more of a BMX style bike. You can get a more mountain bike style bike. There are all sorts of them out there. It just depends what your kid is into. In my opinion, if you're getting gears on your kid's bikes, your kid's not going to know how to shift the gears. It's going to give them a little more complication. Also, with gears, you lose the ability to have a coaster brake. Unless your kid has had experience with gears in the past, I recommend kind of staying away from those with the 20-inch phase, at least for their first bike on a 20-inch. So this bike is a great option just because your kid is going to be riding this bike for a long time. You want to spend a little bit more money, get them a nicer bike so that they can enjoy riding, be able to keep up with you. Who knows, they may even be faster than you. So ultimately, if your kid is just starting to ride a bike and she's getting into bikes in general, the quality of the bike frame is not going to be the important part. The important part there is just get them on a bike, get them riding, whatever the quality of that bike is, whether it's a big box store or a nicer bike, doesn't matter, just get them on a bike, get them riding. And then when they get to the point where they're going to be riding a 20-inch wheel for a long time, get them a nicer bike. They're going to enjoy it, they're going to like the ride a lot better, they're going to enjoy riding their bike more and more. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Love talking to you guys. Love answering any questions you guys have. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.